Good evening, members. So at this time of recording this audio, I had promised that we are doing analysis of various course outlines for 2026 calendar, and this time we'll be handling LPM course outline. And if you have a brief overview of this session in its own will be enough for you to score a P in LPM when it comes to the theory part of it. Because I've analyzed exactly what the course content required you to master. So if we begin with week number 2 and week number 3, the student was required to know the historical background of legal management. And by a historical background, I mean the origin in traditional chambers, because LPM management grew from informal advocate chambers into structured offices as client numbers and court processes expanded. And then if you look at 3.2, professional regulation influence. This is where we have admission, discipline, and practice roles formalized how advocates run offices and handle client work. Because we can say there was integration of advocate practice rules, okay, that also came to regulate the sector. Then there was a shift to client-focused service because competition and legal awareness pushed law firms to adapt customer service standards and responsiveness. Point number 4 is where we have growth of corporate and commercial work. This is where we saw increased transactions requiring specialized departments, teamwork, and organized workflows. Then there is an adoption of modern administration. This is where we have online filing systems, registries, procurement, and office procedures developed to improve efficiency and accountability. And then we have the impact of constitutional and rights-based practice, because the Constitution 2010 increased litigation, accountability, and compliance expectations in legal services. Because offering of legal services now became pursuant to regulated competitive practice. Consumer rights should be observed pursuant to Constitution 2010. Then technology transformation, because we have ICT, e-filing, digital research, and document management changed how firms deliver services and manage their records. Then we have risk and compliance management, because malpractice exposure, confidentiality duties, and anti-corruption expectations strengthened internal controls. Then we have globalization effects, because we have cross-border clients and international standards increased demands for quality assurance and professional branding. Then business mindset in law practice, because firms increasingly use budgeting, HR systems, and performance management to remain sustainable. So that is what you are expected to note, okay, of the various changes that have occurred in this sector. And once you have mastered the various changes, you will now appreciate the various elements that came forth in various parts of this course outline. If you have understood the change from traditional chambers, if you have understood the change from professional regulation influence, shift to client-focused service, growth of corporate and commercial works, modern administration, constitutional effects, technology transformation, risk and compliance, globalization effects, and business mindset in law practice, then you will appreciate whatever we are going to discuss now. Because if you have shifted your practice to customer-focused element, then you will want to design a good type of office. And we have an open office. This is where we have a shared workspace with minimal partitions that promote teamwork and supervision. Then we have closed, at times private or cellular offices. This is where we have enclosed rooms for individuals or small teams that maximize privacy and confidentiality. Okay. At the time of doing this video or webinar, I'm giving you practical applications of what is in the practice. I'm trying as much as possible to explain and break down various practical elements that I have encountered in the day-to-day running of activities. Okay. So when I say about types of offices, you will encounter an open office setup. You will encounter a closed office setup. You will encounter a semi-open. This is why we have cubicle offices. It is an open plan space divided by partitions to give moderate privacy at lower cost. Okay. Then we have landscape or combination office. This is a layout mixing open work areas with enclosed rooms to balance collaboration and private work. Then we have virtual or home offices. Work is done remotely using ICT with physical presence reduced to an address or meeting space as needed. So basically this unit expected you to know that you start with an open office. Then in that open office you can decide to keep it private. You keep it closed. Then at times you can decide, okay, let me do a semi-open. Okay, this is where you just do partitions, but you can see everyone's heads, but you have partitions semi-partitioned. It's like small cubicles for each advocate. But if you stand up, everyone can see you. Then you have a landscape. A landscape, this is where they decide, okay, we have some private issues to discuss as partners. Let us a private room, a boardroom. Then you have a landscape where on the other side we have enclosed rooms. Okay. Then you have virtual. Many law firms at this era, people do not have the funds to open up an office or pay rent, so they decide to convert their home spaces into offices. So those are the 5: open, closed, semi, landscape, and virtual. Then what are the type of business organizations that you must have to analyze in this unit? There is partnership. So we start with the sole proprietorship, a sole trader. This is a business owned and controlled by one person who bears all profit and risks. Then you have partnership. 2 or more persons carry on business together and share profits and generally liability under a partnership agreement. Then you have limited liability partnership, also known as LLPs. A partnership form where the entity is separate and partner's liability is limited, subject to the LLP laws. Then you have private limited company, a separate legal entity owned by shareholders with limited liability and restricted share transfers. Then you have public limited companies, a company whose shares may be offered to the public and is subject to stricter governance and disclosure requirements. Remember, I said that before we do our orals, we must have discussed what the LLP Act entails, what the General Partnership Act entails, and what the Companies Act entails. Because if you have mastered those acts, even if you are asked any question during orals in regards to general meetings, ordinary meetings, special resolutions, you have every information at your fingertips. Then you have companies limited by guarantee. Okay. This is a non-profit style company where members guarantee a fixed amount instead of holding shares. Then an additional thing that you must understand is how you create or register each and every entity listed before you. This will be adequately captured in the commercial transaction unit, one by one, and the procedural steps required. Then you go to cooperative society. This is a member-owned enterprise registered as a cooperative to meet members' common economic needs. Then you have society or association. This is where we have an organized membership body formed for a common purpose, usually not for distributing profits. Then you have a trust. This is a structure where trustees hold and manage property for beneficiaries under a trust instrument. Then you have joint venture. This is where 2 or more parties collaborate for a specific project or business objective under a contract or a special purpose vehicle. Then, the examiner will expect you to know the role, importance, function, and purposes of an office to each organization. You should master the importances and roles and purposes of an office to each organization. And one, we have central coordination. The office aligns people, departments, and activities to achieve organizational goals. 2. Communication hub. It receives, processes, and transmits information internally and externally. 3. Records and information management. An office creates, stores, retrieves, and protects organizational records for continuity and accountability. Then, planning and control. It supports scheduling, budgeting, supervision, and performance monitoring. In as much as you can work from home, there must be key performance indicators. Okay. Customer client service point. It provides the first contact, inquiry handling, and service delivery support. Decision support. It organizes data, reports, and briefs needed for management decisions. Resource administration. It manages office assets, supplies, procurement, and maintenance for efficient operations. Then you have compliance and governance support. It ensures that policies, procedures, and legal requirements are implemented and documented. Then you have risk management and security. It safeguards personnel, information, and property through security and disaster preparedness measures. So in brief, an office is a central coordination center. It's a communication hub, record and information management, planning and control, supervision. Then, remember I told you that you should have understood the historical background of LPM and the changes. Remember it shifted to client-based system. So an office offers a customer client service point. Okay. Resource administration, compliance. It is easier to comply with the payment of various statutory deductions if people are in an office setup. Then it is easier for risk management, especially for privileged information between advocates and their clients. So that is the importance of having an office. And lastly, we have brand and corporate image. It projects professionalism through the layout, etiquette, responsiveness, and service standards. Clients will not feel confident if they are dealing with an office whose setup is at their homes. Then what is the nature of a law firm? The nature of a law firm is to offer professional service business. The nature of a law firm is client-centered and fiduciary in nature because it focuses on clients' interest with loyalty, confidentiality, and diligence. The nature of a law firm is that it is a regulated practice. It operates under strict professional rules on admission, conduct, and practice management. The nature of a law firm is that it is knowledge and people intensive. Its value is created mainly through advocate skill, judgment, and experience supported by staff. And it is risk sensitive. It faces high exposure to negligence, conflict of interest, and breach of confidentiality. So controls are essential. This is why you needed an office for controls. Okay, those are the points that the examiner will be expecting to see whenever you are answering a question in regards to a law firm. Do you understand that it is a regulated practice? Do you know that we mainly focus on skills? Do you know that it is a risk-sensitive area? Do you know that it is a very client-centered approach on fiduciary in nature? Okay. Do you know that it is ethics-driven? Do you know that it is a confidential information environment? Do you know that it is a time-based service delivery because work is organized around deadlines, court schedules, and billable time? Okay. Do you know that the nature of a law firm depends on its reputation? Then the examiner can also ask you to give various office organization structures. We have organization structure. The office is arranged into roles and reporting lines to control work and accountability. We have division of labor. Tasks are broken down and assigned to specific positions for efficiency and expertise. Then you have delegation of authority. Managers assign decision-making power to staff to speed up operations while retaining responsibility. Then you have a chain of command. Clear supervisory lines show who gives instructions and who answers to whom. Then you have span of control. The number of staff a supervisor manages is set to maintain effective oversight. Then you have departmentalization. Work is grouped into units, where we have the reception, registry, accounts, litigation support for specialization. Then you have coordination mechanisms, where we have meetings, workflows, and standard procedures are used to ensure departments work together. Then you have standard operating procedures. Then you have workflow and filing systems. This is where we have work movement and record handling are structured to reduce delays and prevent loss or errors. Then you have communication and ICT systems, where we have tools and channels are organized to support fast, reliable, and traceable information flow. Whenever you are asked a question on office organization, you should look at the hierarchy of authority. When you look at the hierarchy of authority, you must start to appreciate the various roles of everyone. There is a chain of command, and in a chain of command, there must be delegation of authority, and for delegation of authority to occur, there must be division of labor so that everyone knows this is my part. Then if there is division of labor, you should use departments in work allocation. If it is a conveyancing matter, you give to this person. If it is a succession matter, this is the person in charge. Then you delegate authority. This is where every person handling a certain department directly knows that if any issue arises in regards to my department, I'm the one to answer and respond to the questions. So that is a delegation of authority, because you have retained responsibility to staff people. Okay. Then do you have good communication and ICT systems? Can somebody hack into your websites? Do you have an internal operating website to allocate works, to reserve confidential information? Are you exposed to the outside lifestyle? Or you have an internal working system? That is a good organizational workflow. Office organization is key, and once implemented, you will not have struggles. Then lesson number 3, we have front office services. Okay, this is where we look at the office location, office layout, types of offices, front office management, customer service management, legal framework governing front office services. If we start with the office location and site, this is where the examiner will ask you, give us the factors that determine an office location. We start with client accessibility. Choose a site that clients can reach easily using roads, public transport, and clear directions. For instance, a good office location can be outside a court premise. You just tell the client outside, directly opposite Milimani High Court. Proximity to courts and registry. In fact, that point will apply to point number 2. Client accessibility will remain that your office is structured in a well-recognized location, not inside a bush. So proximity to courts and registries. Being near courts and land registries and company registry reduces filing and follow-up time and cost, because it's just a matter of walking and going to that specific registry and confirming. Then security of people and property. The location should have reliable physical security to protect staff, clients, and files. Then professional image. The site should project credibility and match the firm's target market and practice areas. Okay. Then cost efficiency. This is where we have rent, service charge, utilities, fit out cost must be sustainable against expected revenue. Then adequate space and layout potential. The premises should allow reception, meeting rooms, workstations, and secure storage. Then another factor to consider is confidentiality and privacy. The environment should support private consultation without noise or interruptions. This is where the lecturer said that she used to operate an office near a bus stage. So the confidentiality and privacy was exposed to any outsider listening to the same or recording. ICT readiness. Ensure stable internet, network coverage, and power for modern practice management. Compliance and permits. The premises should meet building, safety, and business licensing requirements for lawful operations. Then future growth and flexibility. Pick a site that allows expansion, additional staff, and new departments without disruption. You'll encounter that at times your office has grown so much that you want to relocate so that you can expand. So that will also form a good selection or a point to consider before choosing an office location. So in summary, I've said client accessibility, proximity, security, professional image, cost efficiency, adequate space, confidentiality, ICT readiness, compliance permits, and future growth and flexibility. Then what is an office layout? This is a common question in orals. An office layout is a physical arrangement of office space, furniture, equipment, and workstations to support efficient workflow, supervision, client service, privacy, and safety. What are the various types of office layout? We have the functional layout. These where spaces are arranged by workflow. We have reception, meeting rooms, workstations, registry to reduce movement and delays. These are the other points where we have customer-facing layout. This is where we have the reception and client waiting areas are positions for visibility, comfort, and controlled access. We have functional, where we focus on workflow. Then we have customer-facing layout, the reception and client waiting areas. Then we have confidentiality-focused layout. You have consultation rooms that are separated from open work areas to protect privileged discussions. Then you have supervision-friendly layout, where staff seating is organized so supervisors can monitor work and support juniors easily. Then you have secure records layout. This is where we have filing areas are placed in restricted zones with controlled access and safe storage. Then we have ICT enabled work layout. Layout provides cabling, power points, server, storage space, and reliable network coverage. I have seen this one because there is a cable running from the manager's office all the way to each independent cabinet, because this cable or these ports connect to a telephone that is used internally. So it is ICT enabled layout. Okay. Safety and emergency layout. We have an ergonomic layout where we have furniture and spacing, reduce fatigue and improve productivity and health. Then we have flexible layout where we have partitions and furniture allow quick reconfiguration at teams, caseload and departments change. Then we have various types of offices. Remember, we were discussing on various types of office layout. Functional layout, we focus on workflow. Customer facing layout, you focus on client waiting areas. Confidentiality, you focus on consultation rooms. Supervision, you focus on monitorization. ICT enabled layout, you focus on connectivity. Safety and emergency, you focus on safety. Various types of offices. You have an open office, closed office, semi-open, landscape, and virtual office. What is front office management? A common oral question. Front office management refers to the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling of the reception or client contact function to deliver efficient service and protect client information. What is the difference between front office management and the concept that we have just discussed above? Office layout. Office layout refers to the physical arrangement of office space and furniture or workstations. So this is why you focus on the physical arrangement. But when it comes to the front office management, this is why you focus on the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling of the reception or client contact function to deliver efficient service. What does it entail? It entails reception control. This is why you manage the reception area so that visitors are received professionally and access into back offices is controlled. Client intake and triage, capturing initial client details, identifying the issue and directing the client to the right advocate or department. Then you have appointment and diary management, where this is where you book consultation, managing advocates' diaries, and confirming meetings to avoid congestion and missed time. Then communicating handling. This is where you receive, screen, and do routine calls, emails, and message accurately and promptly. Then you have confidentiality safeguards, ensuring conversations, files, and screens at the front desk are not exposed to unauthorized persons. Then you have queue and waiting area management, managing client flow and comfort to maintain order and good client experience. Then you have client service standards, because you are enforcing etiquette, response timelines, complaint handling, and service consistency. Then you have coordination with back office, linking reception with registry. This is where the front office makes a call, an internal call to the manager to tell him that there is a client waiting for him. Did this client have an appointment? Was it captured in the diary? Okay. Client intake. Can you direct the client to the exact office or the cubicle that a certain advocate is located? Okay. This is all what front office management entails. So when you look at front office management, I want you to conceptualize a situation where a client is coming to the reception area. So you are the receptionist. When it comes to the front office management, you are the receptionist. You have to take note of what a reception position entails. You are to receive visitors. You are to direct visitors. You are to book appointments for the visitors or clients. You are to diarize. You are to make sure there is communication between the reception and other offices. You must maintain a queue and waiting area. You should have gazette, newspapers. There is water if a client needs the water. This is what we call front office management. Do you reply to emails in time? Okay. Then the examiner also expects to see whether you appreciate the importance of front office. Okay, remember we have front office management, you as the receptionist, and then we had not front office layout, the physical structure of it. When I say physical structure, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a designer, an interior designer of a law firm. That is where you will answer questions on office layouts. But now, do you appreciate the screen is freezing. Do you appreciate the importance of front offices? This promotes the brand image. This is where we have client intakes, access control and security, because it screens visitors and controls movement to protect staffs, clients, and property. Confidentiality protection, because it prevents unauthorized exposure of privileged information through controlled conversation and file handling. Then we have communication hub, because I've told you that it receives and filters or routes calls and emails and messages to the right person first. Then you have time and workflow efficiency. Then you have complaint handling and service recovery. Then you have client guidance and information support. Then you have records and accountability and revenue support, because it improves collection and billing coordination. Then explain the terms front office and front office services, another common oral question. Front office, this is the client-facing section of an organization that receives clients or visitors and manages first contact and access. When it comes to front office services, the reception and customer support functions that handle inquiries, appointments, communication, routing, and initial client handling. So the front office is a physical location that is facing directly at the client, but front office or services are the cumulative steps that the reception takes, okay, on inquiries, appointments, and communication and initial client handling. So front office services refers to the steps or services being offered by the receptionist. Then the examiner also expects you to appreciate the legal framework under which front office operates. And basically it is governed by the Advocates Act, the Evidence Act on Privileged Information and Communications, Section 135 of the Evidence Act, and even case laws. Then give types of front office services. We have reception and visitor handling, because I've told you when you hear front office services, these are the steps taken by the receptionist. So this receptionist will make sure that they receive and handle visitors. This is where they greet them, they show them where to sit, and they manage walk-in clients. A receptionist will answer telephone calls, they answer or transfer calls and take accurate messages from the caller. Appointment and diary management is a type of front office service. This is where they book and confirm and reschedule meetings and consultations. Then you have client intake and registration, because they capture basic client details and opening an initial client profile for follow-up. Then you have inquiry handling and referrals. They respond to general inquiries and direct clients to the correct advocate or departments. Then you have customer care and complaints handling. They receive complaints and record them and escalate them for resolution. Then they are in charge of receiving of mails and service documents. Then they are in charge of payment direction and receipt liaison, where a client decides to pay and requests for payment particulars. This is the role of the front office service. And it's also an information desk, because it gives direction within the office and provides basic firm information without legal advice. Explain the challenges facing front office services and the solutions to the problems. This is where the examiner will test you. Have you crammed this part, or you can show me that you even know solutions to these problems? So high client traffic or long waiting times, what can you do? Use appointment systems, queue control, triage and peak hour staffing. Poor communications and delayed responses, what can you do? Set response time standards, call scripts, escalation rules. You can even use automated call response systems. Confidentiality breaches at reception. Enforce privilege controls and privacy layout, because disclosure is restricted under Section 134(1) of the Evidence Act. Then if front office services you are encountering unprofessional staff conduct or poor etiquette, you need to train them on customer care, supervise closely, and use supervision tools with sanctions for non-compliance. Then misrouting of clients and matters. Implement clear practice area directories, intake forms, and triage checklist. Inadequate complaint handling. Create a complaint log or assign a resolution officer, set timelines and close the loop with the client. Okay. Then poor record and document control. Use registers for incoming and outgoing mail, file movement, and digitized tracking. Security threats and unauthorized access. Introduce visitor identification. Data protection and unlawful disclosure risk. Train the staff and restrict sharing, because unlawful disclosure is an offense under Section 72 of the Data Protection Act. Workplace harassment and discrimination at the front desk. Adapt and enforce a sexual harassment policy and reporting mechanism as required by Section 6 of the Employment Act. So generally, the examiner expects you to state the common challenges facing front office services. We have long waiting times. We have poor communication and delayed responses, confidentiality and professional staff, misrouting of clients and matters, inadequate complaint handling mechanism, poor record and document control, security threat, data protection, etc. Then appreciate the role played by a receptionist or office manager in the law firm. This is important because they are the first contact and they form the firm image. They receive clients professionally and sets the tone for the firm's reputation. Then you have client intake. Then you have diary and appointment control, communication handling, confidentiality protection, visitor access and security, document and mail management, client care and complaints management, office coordination and workflow support, administrative supervision. What is customer service management? This refers to the planning, delivery, monitoring, and implementation and improvement of client interactions to ensure satisfaction, loyalty, and consistent service standards. What are the various types of good customer service management? This is how you have responsive service. You are timely. Professional and courteous service, respectful communication, proper etiquette, and calm, helpful tone at all times. You have reliable or consistent service, confidential service, accurate service, empathetic service, transparent service, accessible service, complaint handling service, and continuous improvement service. All this is what forms a good customer service management. The planning, delivery, monitoring, improvement of client interactions. Customer service management focuses on client interactions to ensure satisfaction, loyalty, and consistent service standards. So everything that you do in a good customer service management, you check on responsive time. Are you professional? Are you reliable? Do you promote confidentiality? Are you accurate? Are you empathetic? Are you transparent? Are you accessible? How do you handle complaints? Okay. Then, how do you appreciate the role played by ICT in customer service management? Do you appreciate that ICT department also promotes a good customer service management? ICT promotes faster communication through quick responses through email, SMS, calls, chats, and client portals. You have efficient client intake through digital forms. We have appointment and diary automation, where we have calendars and reminders. We have better case and status updates. We have improved records and retrieval of the same, because document management systems make client files easier to store, search, and retrieve. Because we are looking at the ICT in their capacity to help the customer service management system to run in a good manner and efficient way. Then we have service consistency. This is where we have templates, scripts, and workflow, standardized responses, and improved quality control. Then we have multi-channel accessibility because the clients can reach the firm through multiple platforms, including convenience and reach. Okay. Then we have data-driven improvement, where the analytics measure response times, client satisfaction, because the clients can give a review or feedback of the services. Business continuity, because we have cloud tools and remote access keep client service running during disruptions or emergencies. Do you know the modern trends in customer service? This is also a potential question that you can be asked in the main exam. We have omni-channel service, where the clients are served seamlessly across phone, email, WhatsApp, social media, and physical visits. Omni-channel. Then you have self-service options. These are you have fax, portals, and automated forms. Let clients get basic information and submit requests without staff delays. This is why you have automations. You have personalized service. This is where the firm will tailor communication and updates based on client profile, matter type, and preferences. Then we have real-time updates. Clients expect frequent progress notification and fast turnaround on queries. Then we have automation and AI support. We have chatbots, automated replies and workflow tools handle routine inquiries and triage. Then we have client portals. Secure platforms allow document sharing, messaging, invoices, and matter status tracking. Then we have data privacy and security, cybersecurity focus. Then we have customer experience measurement. Then we have remote service delivery. Then we have SLS, because firms set internal response time targets and escalation rule for consistent service. So some key takeaways that you should know that at now, with the integration of technology, firms have adopted modern trends in customer service. You can reach out through omni-channel service. You can use self-service options if you're a client. We have real-time updates. We have automated and AI support. We have chatbots that have been introduced by many law firms. We have client portals. That some law firms have portals for individual clients. Okay, so those are the main ones. How can law firms leverage the use of AI and technology? This is another predicted question this year, even during orals. How can your law firm integrate AI and technology? AI-assisted drafting. You can generate fast drafts of letters, pleadings, and opinions, then have an advocate review line by line before issuance. Then you have contract review and due diligence. Use AI to flag missing clauses, risky terms, and inconsistencies, then convert outputs into a human-verified issues list. So it can be used for contract reviews. It can be used for AI-assisted draftings. Then you have legal research acceleration. Use AI to summarize cases, statutes, and extract ratios, but validate every citation against the source before relying on it. Because in as much as the examiner expects you to use AI, he also expects you to be very cautious. Then you have knowledge management. Build a searchable precedent bank and playbook so the firm reuses best clauses, arguments, and checklists consistently. Then we have client onboarding and intake automation. Deploy eForms and CRM tools for conflict checks. Know your client's captures and matter opening to reduce front office delays. Okay, so that is one area where the law firms can utilize AI. Then you have matter, deadline, and workflow tracking. Use practice management systems for tasks, court dates, and limitation reminders with audit trails for accountability. Then we have e-discovery and document review. We have billing and profitability analytics, automate time capture, WIP tracking, and invoice generation to reduce leakage and price matters better. This is important when it comes to law firms. If a client has paid, generate an automatic invoice, an automatic receipt. Okay, that is another angle where law firms can utilize the AI. They can also use AI to measure deadline and workflow trackings. We have deadlines and reminders, what we call BUs, bring updates. Okay. The examiner also expects you to have analyzed the Advocate Marketing and Advertising Rules of 2014. These rules will be relevant because they set the boundaries of a law firm, of a lawful law firm marketing in Kenya, and define what conduct becomes professional misconduct. Rule 2 provides for general conduct because it stops advocates from soliciting work unfairly, so firms must win case clients through ethical service rather than improper canvassing. Then rule number 3 talks on advertising. It makes all marketing conditional on compliance with the rule, so any advert outside the framework is automatically improper. Rule number 4, manner of advertising, requires adverts to be objective, true and dignified, protecting the professional's image and preventing misleading promotion. Then rule number 5, content of advertisements, limits what a firm can say and forbids client naming, photos and outcome promises, reducing confidentiality and deception risks. Then we have rule number 6 on register of specialists. Control specialist claims by linking them to an official register, preventing false expert branding. Then you have rule number 7 on forms of advertisement, permits specific channels. It permits directories, web and limited print, and bans others, where we have radios, TV and billboards, so firms must choose compliant platforms. Rule number 8 on conferences, seminars, public activities, because it allows publication of papers with identification only, preventing lawyers from disguising advertising as public education. Rule number 9, counsel to rule on conduct. Provides an enforcement pathway through the counsel so complaints on marketing can be heard and determined quickly. Then you have rule number 10 that establishes a professional misconduct. This now defines the breach, false statements, intermediaries and seminar advertising as misconduct, exposing firms to discipline if they cross the line. Then lesson number 4, set out standards, policies and procedures. Standards refers to the agreed minimum benchmarks for quality and performance that guide how work should be done in the office. Then policies are the written management rules that state what the organization allows or prohibits and how decisions will be made. Then systems, structured sets of people, tools and processes that work together to achieve a specific office function. Then procedures are the step-by-step instructions that explain the exact method of performing a task consistently. So key takeaways is that the standards refers to benchmarks for quality. Policies refers to written management rules. Then systems refers to structured sets of people and tools and processes. Then procedures is a step-by-step instructions that explain the exact method of performing a task. Explain how each is applied in a typical law office. We have client care standards, we have confidentiality privacy policies, we have conflict check system, we have file opening and matter intake procedure, we have document drafting and review standards, we have diary and deadline management system, we have records management and filing procedures, we have financial and billing systems, we have ICT and cyber security policies, and we have HR and workplace policies. Okay. So when we will resume from lesson 5 on ICT on its own, because we are now finalizing on topic 3. And in topic number 3, you must understand and appreciate the role of the office or business manager in formulation of office standards, policies, systems and procedures. Needs assessment identifies operational gaps and risks that require standards, policies, systems and procedures. We have policy drafting and documentation. This prepares clear written standards. We have stakeholder coordination, we have implementation planning, We have training and capacity building. We have quality control and monitoring. We have continuous improvement. We have resource and procurement alignment. We have risk management. We have enforcement and accountability. Then what is the importance of the standards, policies, systems and procedures in a law firm? Consistency of service, efficiency and speed, risk reduction, confidentiality, accountability, regulatory compliance, better record management, and financial control. With the use of examples, discuss how standards, policies, and procedures can impact a legal practice. Client service standard, all calls returned within 24 hours. This results to improved client satisfaction. File opening procedure, no work starts before conflict check and signed retainer, because this will prevent conflict and fee disputes, because where you have a signed instruction note, that is sufficient for you to do the work as an advocate. Then we have the deadline systems. This reduces negligence claims. Document review standards. It lowers errors and reputational damage. Records management policy. It avoids lost files. Confidentiality policy. It protects privileged information. Emails or ICT procedures. Reduces cyber and leak risks. Billing policy. Improves cash flow. Procurement procedure. Cuts cost and fraud by ensuring transparency and value for money. Complaint handling procedure reduces disciplinary exposure by detecting service failures early and fixing them before escalation. So up to this point, I'll end the recording on LPM. Then I'm going to resume with the recording on SOPEC rules, because these SOPEC rules are well detailed. The SOPEC rules will require a system that operates when we are sober and very efficient, because professional ethics has recorded massive failures over the years, and therefore we cannot risk over the same. So allow me to figure it out, the next unit or legislation that I'm going to analyze as I end this recording.